You join me today to review an eventful season in the Vanarama National League South as we look to build a team that is going to compete in the Vanarama National League. Come and join me. Hello and welcome to episode 24 of From the Bottom to the Top as we try and take a National League South side, in this case Weymouth, from the bottom all the way up to the top. And this is our journey. My name's Mark, and on today's episode we have for you the end of season review, 24-25 season in the Vanarama National League South. And then we have our sort of transfer special where we have a look at the transfers, look about the squad, and see who or what we need in place in order to compete in the Vanarama National League in this coming season. Before we continue, I'd just like to remind you that if you do enjoy today's video, please leave me that big thumbs up, subscribe, hit the notification button, and leave me a comment. Let me know what you think of the series so far as we enter into the Vanarama National League. And of course, you can follow me on X, what used to be known as Twitter, at JustOffside2, and I'll be pleased to have you as a follower. Thank you very much for everybody who's supported this video series so far, and also my apologies for not getting this out yesterday, but transfer windows seem to take a long time and you have to concentrate, otherwise you lose out on players or you get players that you didn't really want and things like that. Right, without any more to do, let's get on and have a look. As we finished up, I think the best place to just check in, we'll do a full deep dive on the table in just a short while. That's given away who's well, you can see who's been promoted anyway. We'll go back in here again. Southend promoted via the playoffs. They beat Worthing 4-2 in the playoff final. So as it ended, we ended top champions on 107 points. We'll look and see how many records that did, but dropping 6 points along the way at the end of the season there. 3 draws in our final 3 games. And we could have picked up another 6 points, which would have given us 113 points, which would have been absolutely splendid. Our next nearest Eastbourne Borough, they had a torrid run in when you look at it. They only won one of their last 5, lost 3 and drew the other one. No way were they catching us. We ended up 16 points clear of them in the end. Southend, as I said, promoted in 3rd place, and I think Eastbourne probably lost out by the fact that they were on such a wretched run at the end of the season there. They couldn't pull themselves through to get that promotion. As I said, we will have a full deep dive on this. Hungerford Town, Dulwich Hamlet, Hampden and Richmond and Slough Town are all the teams that will be dropping out. We won't see them. We won't see them anyway next season, but we won't see them anyway because they have dropped out. Right, I think it is probably preferable at this point in time to very quickly move on to the end of season review. We'll do that first, get that out of the way, and then we'll have a proper look at and deep dive of the table. And here we are, the usual screen, of course, with the end of season review. And let's get into it. We always start with the new arrivals, and the star man as far as the board and what have you were concerned was Alfie Prescott. Came from Southampton, made 30 appearances, 6 from the bench. He scored 2 goals, but this is massive. This is really what made a huge difference to us. He provided 28 of our goals, or assisted in 28 of our goals, didn't provide them, but without him slamming those balls into the area, and Cam Cooper pretty much profiting on a lot of those by flicking them into the back of the net. Them two work very well together. Could be good if there was a stat in here, and if anybody knows where to find it, to tell you how many he has actually supplied Cam Cooper with, that would be really, really good. 7.70 was his average rating for the season, so that tells you a great lot. Liam Vincent, we loaned him in from Portsmouth. He made 5 appearances, no goals and 4 assists from the left-hand side, doing Prescott things on that side of the pitch. He's on holiday at the moment, wanted by Oldham Athletic of all people. We'll see. We'll have to decide whether we want to try and bring him in or not. What I was actually going to do is career stats. There we go. He actually only played 5 games for us, so a 7.34 from 5 games, 1 player of the match, 4 assists. Wasn't bad, do. That's nearly an assist a game for Liam Vincent, so he was very, very good. Archie Harris, we brought in from Bournemouth, 15 appearances, 9 from the bench, 11 assists, so provided a lot of assists as well. 7.07. Him, Joe Knight, another good boy. He came in, 24 appearances, 23 from the bench, 10 goals, 11 assists. So again, providing a lot. See where these assists came from. 7.07. Spencer Spurway, came in from on loan from Portsmouth. Made 40 appearances, 6 from the bench, 12 goals he scored, most of those from corners. 7.05. And then Kieran Evans, I think he came from Torquay. 29 appearances, 10 from the bench, 16 goals, 13 assists. Again, providing 29 goals in effect. A goal a game. That's a fair old rate. 7.04 for Kieran Evans. And Casey Petit, Maidenhead United was where he came from. He's on 26. And actually, when he came in, I think we had him on loan previously. Let's just check him out a minute. Yeah, we had him on loan the previous season, and then he was released from Maidenhead United. And then what we did was we took him on a free, but he was on a non-contract basis. So he made 29 appearances, 2 goals, 3 assists, a 6.96. But he made that from effectively from a non-contract basis. So very good for him. 3 goals and 7 assists, all making a contribution. 7.03. So they're the final ones of the big 7 over the 7s. Toure Williams, who is leaving us, who came in from Bournemouth, he's moving on. 36 appearances, 8 from the bench, 6 goals, 6 assists. And then of course Ben Blythe, he came in towards the end. Tom Solanke came in, 34 appearances, 7 from the bench, 2 goals, 4 assists. I think that's pretty much the name of all the players coming in. Are going out. Keelan O'Connell went to Mangotsfield, made 20 appearances, 7.6. Probably about his level of football, actually. Ash McCarthy, he made 6 appearances for Denby, 2 goals, 1 assist, 7.12. Nick Zack, of course, we had in as a goalkeeper, sold him on. He's made 1 appearance for Motor Lublin, a 7.10. And Joe Rowlinson went to Burgess Hill, 2 appearances, 3 from the bench, 2 assists, a 7.05. Others going out, of course, Tariq Gidry, Cisse, Thompson, Cheshire, Hamlin, Dan Roberts, Mo Shabba, Toure and Stagg. So they are the players that have gone out. We won't check the loans out. How the season unfolded? Well, we finished mid-table in the National League South. That was the board expectation. Finished first, of course. Our average home attendance was 981. Hopefully going to take that up higher this season. The top goal scorer was Cam Cooper with 28 goals. And the board, of course, would be pleased. Not that you would have thought so when they offered me a new contract. More about that later. we'll look at the table. We will do a deep dive on that, and we'll also come back to the goals and what have you. But not only did we have a good season in the Vanarama National League South, we did exceedingly well in the FA Cup as well, getting to the third round proper. And what an exploit that was, as we'll have a look in a moment. Bull wanted us to be competitive. We got to the third round. Average home attendance 981. I'm sure that's fixed. Only got a B plus. I mean, to be honest, we just avoided relegation last season, and the board only give me a B plus. I would have expected at least an A minus for that. Chatham Town, a 7-0 win in the second qualifying round. Third qualifying round against Basingstoke Town. 5-4 win in that instance. We beat Tunbridge Angels in the fourth qualifying round. 5-1, and then in the first round proper, a 2-2 draw at home to Cheltenham. We thought we'd blown our chances by not beating them at home, but we went to their place and beat them 5-1, 7-3 on aggregate if you look at it that way. And talking about 7-3s, we then went to Walsall, the Bescott Stadium, and beat Walsall in the second round, 7-1. Some goals scored in that competition, but we couldn't replicate against Cardiff City, unfortunately. But it was a big payday, and that was the main thing. The FA Trophy wasn't quite so entertaining. Wanted us to be competitive. We got through to the fourth round. Mitchell Weiss and Spencer Spurway, the leading scorers. Did we check the leading scorer on that? In the FA Cup was Cam Cooper. Mitchell Weiss and Spencer Spurway with 2 goals each in this one. A C+. Whitehawk we beat 4-1 in, I'm not sure which round that was. Doesn't tell me on here. And then Worthing, we beat them 3-2 to go through to I think it's the fourth round actually. I think that's the second, third, and this is the fourth round against Hemel Hempstead. We'll check in the schedule in a bit. And lost to Hemel Hempstead Town, who also in the Vanarama National League South by 2-0. I think by that time, as we've pointed out before, we were getting extremely tired. We had Saturday, Tuesday games. Bearing in mind we're only part-time, we struggled. Our biggest win of the season, we've already mentioned it. It was a 7-0 win against Chatham in that FA Cup on the 14th of September. Kieran Evans, Lambert getting a hat-trick, Cooper getting a brace, and Casey Petit also pitching in with a goal. So a 7-0 win in that one. A match to remember was the 5-1 winning of Tunbridge Angels, also in the FA Cup. Good ship, Ryan Williams, a Vice with a brace in added time at the end of the game. That was the interesting part of that one. And the goal of the season was actually scored by Joe Knight. It was a 7-goal thriller against Dulwich Hamlet in February, which gave us that one. And we'll have a quick look at it. Throw in from Harris on that left-hand side. Knight went on a mazy run and just decided that he was going to fire that one in the back of the net. And so he did. So that was goal of the season. An excellent goal from defensive midfielder Joe Knight. So very well done to him. Sponsors-wise, we can't really tell a great deal on the basis that obviously we've got nothing to measure it against really. But we have got 2 new sponsorship deals worth £54,000, which is good news. And obviously we'll pick up a bit more broadcasting revenue in this coming season. Total merchandise sales 9,023. Right, the team, how they lined up. This was how we generally lined up. Ted Can is in goal. Harris, Slade, Spurway and Prescott. Yeah, that's right, across the back there. Petit, Bolton and Knight in midfield. Weiss behind Goodship and Cooper up front. That looks like pretty much how the best team lined up. And then we come to our accolades. won Manager of the Month in September, October, December and March. I don't know what happened in between, really. It all went a bit wonky, but we got there in the end. Club Awards, Alfie Prescott, Fans Player of the Season, 7.7 on the average rating. Young Player of the Season, Alfie Prescott. Signing of the Season, Alfie Prescott. Getting the message? Good. Joe Knight scored the goal of the season. We've just seen it. Splendid goal it was, too. Cam Cooper was the top goal scorer, 36 goals for the season. That is massive for a loanee. And again, I think he's one of those players that we probably need to be looking to bring in permanently. Alfie Prescott got the most assists with 28. We've already touched on that. Fantastic input from him. Most Player of the Match awards, 7 for Cam Cooper. Highest average rating, 7.7 for Alfie Prescott. And Spencer Spurway as the most passes completed in 90 minutes, 49. Competition awards, not as yet. We might get them at a later point. Record breaking, Cam Cooper got the most goals by a player in a season. Most league goals by a player in a season, 28. Most goals by a player in a match, 4 from Melvin Lambert. Most goals by a player in a league match, the same, 4. Most assists by a player in a season, Alfie Prescott got 28. Michael Kelly, the most clean sheets, 6. Something that we need to try and rectify. I would want to see that record broken next season. Most Player of the Match awards, Alfie Prescott with 7. Most league goals by a player, Brendan Goodship, 110 league goals he scored in his career. Youngest player on the pitch, 17 years and 34 days, Robert George. Fastest goal was Mitchell Weiss. He scored a goal in 1 minute and 16 seconds. Youngest goal scorer was Robert George, as we've already said, 17 years and 34 days. And the oldest goal scorer was Mitchell Weiss, 31 years and 198 days. That is how it has borne out. The deep dive on the league we will do in just a moment. Weymouth have been brilliant since turning it on in the middle of the season. From the start of the season, really. Their football was a joy to watch, and they're deservedly going up. And that comes from Spot V News. We might look at the timeline right now, because we will look at that at a future date. But we will have a deep dive on the table like we always do. And as we've already said, we finished the season on 107 points in first. Eastbourne Borough second on 91. Southend being promoted via the playoffs on 86. Then came Bath City on 83. Worthing on 77. Torquay United on 75. And Dartford making up the last playoff place on 71 points. 2 points clear of Havant, Waterlooville and Weston-super-Mare. Right, let's deep dive then. We start with our home record. We were top on the home record. Lost 2 games all season at home. Those games against Braintree, we lost 4-2, and Bath City 2-1. Our run-in wasn't particularly good there, and you can see of our last 5 at home, we only won 2 of them, drew the other 3. Didn't lose them, I suppose, which is good news. So 17-1, 4 draws, 2 losses, same as Eastbourne Borough, who were chucking away at us pretty much all season. 67 goals for, 30 goals against. So our defensive was sort of leaking, but we were outscoring, which I think is what won us the season. 37 goal difference, 55 points picked up. The same as Eastbourne Borough. They only had a goal difference of 19, but they scored 37 goals, only letting in 18 and 0. For a defensive record like that, was that the best defence? That was the best home defence in the league, actually, 18. So that very, very good. And promotion stuff. And I'm surprised they didn't get through in the end. But there you go. It comes down to being able to win the promotion stuff as it is. So that was the home record. Away record. Again, we were better away from home, and I think that's probably what won us the title. We were top, 52 points. Bath City in second on 45. Eastbourne Borough were third on 36, along with Southend, who also got promoted now on 36. And then came Dartford on 34. 5 of our final 5 away games. Won 3 of them, drew 2 of them, 23 played, 16 won, 4 draws. We lost 3. The 3 that we lost were to Slough Town 2-1, Billericay Town 3-0. And I think we lost both games to Braintree, the only side to do the double over us. A 2-1 loss against them. 66 goals for, 41 against, 25 are a goal difference. And that is how our season finishes. You'll see Slough Town down the bottom again. I think they were down the bottom they weren't quite on the bottom, actually. Got 22 points at home, but only managing to pick up 5 away from home, and that was their dastardly thing, really, that they never got through. So that's the away records. First half of the season, at halfway, we were in the lead. We had a lead of some 14 points over Eastbourne Borough. Pretty much how it stayed all season, really. Just lost that one game in the first half of the season. 21, 2 draws, 1 losses, 72 goals for, 31 against, 41 goal difference, and 62. The bottom 4 at the halfway stage were Farnborough, Hampden and Richmond, Dulwich Hamlet, and Slough Town. Hungerford just sort of there or thereabouts. So didn't really change a great deal, did it? The second half of the season, Southend were the better side actually in the second half of the season. Well, we succumbed into second place by some 7 points. We lost 4 games in that second half of the season, 13-1, 6 draws, that being a big problem to us. And the 4 losses, 61 for, 40 against, a goal difference of 21. 45 points picked. Southend, as I say, above us, and Eastbourne Borough, Bath City. Farnborough, who had an absolutely splendid second half of the season. Obviously, first half of the season, as we know, they were rock bottom, really, but managed to pull themselves up to 15th by having an absolutely cracking second half. Only lost 5 matches in that second half of the season, picking up 40 points. But as we've already said, Slough Town couldn't do much about it. 16 points from their second half of the season. Hampden and Richmond, 19. Wealdstone are in there at the bottom, but they didn't succumb in the end. Dulwich Hamlet and Hungerford Town also going down. Combined tables for you, a proper full look, and then the last 5 games of the season. This is how the run-in was. We finished actually down here, 6th best on the run-in. Dartford having the best run-in. They went a little bit wonky. They were top of the table for a little while early in the season. Didn't lose any of their 5 matches on their run-in. We didn't either, but we drew 3 of them. So the best run-in probably was Farnborough, who won 4 and lost 1 of their last 5 games. So that's how it is. Picking 9 points up in the last 5 games, whereas Dartford picked up 13 from their last 5 games. Just to compare on the how the media expected us to finish 5th. Of course, we finished top. Eastbourne Borough were expected to finish second. Southend were expected to finish first. Didn't. Had a good second half of the season, and had they had a good first half of the season, possibly would have been chasing us or giving us a bit of a bigger battle, I guess. But they finished 3rd in the end. Of course, getting promoted via the playoffs, so they were lucky. Bath City were expected to finish 8th, finished 4th. Worthing finished 9th. Finished 5th. Were expected to finish 9th. Torquay, they expected to finish 6th and did. And Dartford actually finished 7th and were expected to finish 14th. The teams that didn't do so well, that were expected to do well: Chelmsford City finished 13th, expected to finish 3rd. Maidstone United were expected to finish 7th, but finished 11th. Wealdstone were expected to finish 4th, but finished 17th. Some definite teams didn't perform quite as the media expected in that in the season, shall we say. Right, before we move on then, as we move on, I think we'll have a quick look, just check on the transfers as it is on the 4th of May. because obviously this is interesting. As we've already said, let's go back a stage, Mark. Go back a stage. Toure Williams, as we said, is going to W Connection. W Connection are in Trinidad and Tobago. That's where he comes from. So he's obviously wanting to go back there. He joins them on the 1st of July. So he's an outgoing. People are in for Alex Mitchison, but otherwise no activity at the moment. We have brought in one player, though. Our first signing. In fact, he's only just signed today, so it is hot news. I can tell you it's Emeka Peters. He has been on trial with us. He's come in from Brentford. He's 18 years old. He can play, up the left side, but we don't tend to play there. He can either play as an attacking midfield or as a striker. So gives us a couple of options there. I'm thinking that he's probably more likely to play in the striker role than he is in the attacking midfield. We'll see, but we do have options on either for him. So that's good news. He come through the Fulham Academy, then went on to Brentford. Brentford kept him for 2 seasons, pretty much, or a season. Didn't really do it right. He's come to us and joins us on a free transfer. He is on 1.2k a week, so he's going to really have to perform. But this is the bit that I like, because he's a good National League player, so he should be able to cope with the National League. And he is potentially Championship standard, which means that we could have him for a couple of seasons and sell him on at a profit, especially when we start to break into the Football League. That's what I am hoping anyway. So that is Emeka Peters. He's our first signing of this transfer window. So as we get things underway, we're going to hop forward a little bit. We're going to come back around about the 1st of July, I think, because we'll come and have a look and see what transfers are doing. But also what we'll do is have a look at what the new fixtures bring for the new season. And here we are. Vanarama National League symbol has come up. You'll also see that we have 2 new kits. If you want to find out how you can change kits in your game on FM24, then follow the link to the video, which I will post at the top here, and that will show you how to do it in a program called Kit Basher. So follow that link and it will get you there. I'll also put it down in the description as well, so you can follow that. I will be doing a video very, very shortly on showing you how to add a 3rd kit in here as well. So keep your eye out for that one. It might be a little bit further on if we can get promoted this season as we go into the Football League. We'll see how that works out. Right. What we're going to do from here is we have the fixture list out. So let's have a quick look at the fixtures. And this is how our season will start. We've got a few friendlies in there. We're going to start the season with Hartlepool and Woking. Hartlepool and Woking are opening 2 matches in the National League. Hartlepool, who last season finished 6th in the Vanarama National League. They have been up into League 2, dropped down in 2022-23. They finished 10th in 23-24, and then last season finishing 6th. So they're not going to be easy peasy to get past. Oh, is it Sol Campbell as their manager, is it? Yeah, Sol Campbell is their manager, so that's interesting. And then we go away. That's at the Bob Lucas. And then we are away at the Kingfield Stadium in Woking for our 2nd game of the season. And Richie Wellings, the manager there. And last season, they finished 15th in the Vanarama National League. So that might be a slightly easier task. But season before that finished 4th. But they've never been any higher than that by the looks of it. Never got any further than the Vanarama National League. So there are opening 2 games. Other games of note along the south coast here: Eastleigh, Aldershot Town, we have a fourth FA Cup fourth qualifying round. So we miss out the third qualifying round this year, go straight through to that. Christmas time, we have a Boxing Day back at Woking, and so we're starting to repeat ourselves. A New Year's Day trip to Oldham Athletic for that one, and obviously some quite big runs this season, being a National League, and then Bradford City and Dorking. Our final two games of the season, away to Bradford City and then at home to Dorking. So we start at home and we finish at home this season. So we'll see how things progress as we get through the season. Right, that's the fixture list. More about that in future. As you'll see, there is a bit of activity in our transfer thing, but I can tell you, though there appears to be activity in there, there is nothing happening. We have had one other go out. Jurajay has gone to Hanwell on a free. He's left us at the end of May, so we wish him all the best. He's gone out, I think he's on a non-contract at Hanwell, but he's gone to Hanwell. And as I say, the last team was Amika Peters. So nothing happening on the transfer front at the moment. Very, very, well, I wouldn't say disappointing, but very sort of worrying in a way. We do have a number of players, though, that we are in for. You see, we're waiting for... these are all trial players, sorry. The one player that we have offered a contract to is Max Merrick. He is a goalkeeper? Yeah, he's a goalkeeper. So we're hoping that we might be able to get him in on a free. Max Merrick, remember that name. And the other thing that we have done, and has just not joined us yet, though he should have done, it's not happened. Cam Cooper. We have actually brought him in from Oxford United. We'll pick that up in the next jump. But we did or have lined up Cam Cooper to come in on a permanent basis, which is extremely good news. Right, I think that's as far as we can tell you right now. Right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to have a preview of the new season 2025-26, and we'll be in the Vanarama National League. Let's go and see if we've brought in some more players. And you come back and join us 2 days before the start of the new season, which we will feature in the next episode. We are on the 31st of July. We've played 4 friendlies. We've won all of them. Not that means anything, of course. And you will see some names on here that possibly... Carnal Palfrey is here. He played in that friendly against Hamworthy. Robert George, we know, played in previous seasons. Joshua Lett, he is on trial with us. Dan Casey on trial with us. Cam Cooper scoring a hat-trick in this game. Connor Bent is one of our players, and Liam Vincent, who is also on trial with us, of course, on loan last season. He's been released by Portsmouth, but we've had him on trial because we've been looking at other options as well, which Joshua Lett is one of them, and we'll come to a decision on who we're going to play in that particular area in the very near future. Just to check on the transfers then, there is one still in abeyance. Luke Armstrong. We struggled for goalkeepers. I think in the last bit I did say that we were looking at a goalkeeper, and he didn't come in. He went elsewhere, and that's been the story of our transfer window, really, is a lot of players been going elsewhere. Luke Armstrong, so as I think I've said to you before, if you don't get the players in that are free, that or not of the right calibre, quality or whatever to come through, then what I tend to do as we start to enter the season, start to look at potential loans to bring in to fill in the gaps until we can bring in players to replace. Luke Armstrong being one of them. He's at Cardiff at the moment. We have offered him a contract, and we're looking to bring him in. He's reasonable in all departments, good fitness and all the rest of it. We'll see if we get him in due course. But let's have a look at the rest of the transfers. As you will see, I think we talked about Cam Cooper was right on the precipice of joining us. He has joined us, which is excellent news. He's only signed a 1-year contract though, so hopefully if we get promoted again this season, he will actually stay with us. He's been with us 3 seasons, 2 seasons. This will be his 3rd season with us, of course. 7.45 in the first season, scoring 9 goals from 15 games, 6 assists, 3 player of the matches, but last season outstanding, 28 goals, 5 assists, 5 player of the matches, and 7.3 from 40 games. Excellent for him from Cam Cooper. We have also brought in Luke Campbell. He is a goalkeeper, so the other goalkeeper we're looking at is possibly backup, or even Luke may be backup. He has come in. He is a young goalkeeper, so he's a breakthrough prospect. He's only signed a 1-year contract, £50 a week, but he will be an adequate backup to another goalkeeper if we bring him in. We have brought in a brand new left back, Josiah Linton. He came from Tottenham on a free. We've managed to get him in, and he's not on mega bucks. 400 a week for 2 seasons. Can play down anywhere down that left hand side. So we're looking forward to him doing. His crossing's not fantastic, but he's already can produce from crosses. So we're hoping that he will be able to do that. Sonny Davis, right hand side to compete with Alfie Prescott. He is already been on a trial with us. He's looking quite good. Comes from Southampton. He had a loan spell at Chelmsford where he did all right, 6.61, 3 assists. Hopefully he'll do some business for us, but come through the Southampton Academy. So we're looking forward to seeing him this season. And then on the left-hand side again as backup for Josiah Linton. Because to be honest, that left-hand side, we didn't really have anybody of great chilk out there. Liam Vincent has signed a contract with us. He's with us for 2 seasons, 250 a week. And he'll be back up to Josiah Linton on that left side. So we're pleased to have him back in the fold. Obviously on loan with us last season. And as we've already said, was rather splendid. He was on loan at Western-super-Mare the season before that. But certainly had a far better season with us. And so originated in Bromley, didn't really do it at Portsmouth. So we'll see how he prevails. Still a couple more irons I think we need in the fire. We need another a central defender and possibly another defensive midfielder. They're the 2 areas I'm still looking at. We do have a bit of finance still left over. We are doing quite well with finance at the moment as 12,706. So we've got somewhere in the region of £2,000 still to play. So I think that 2,000 should be able to bring us in a decent central defender and potentially bring in a defensive midfielder. Those are 2 areas where I think we really do need to firm up a little bit. A good ball-winning midfielder in that can play a defensive role, that can double as a central defender as well. I think that's what I'm looking for. And if we can have somebody to do that, then I think we will be good and dandy as we go into the season. Right, so financially we're all okay. What is that looking like then? Let's go back up here. We'll go in here and have a quick look at the season preview, because this is the interesting bit. They are expecting us to finish 17th, 50-1 odds on winning it. I think that's the odds anyway. Eastleigh on the bottom. Kings Lynn also promoted from the Vanarama National League North, possibly. Dorking, Chester, Boreham Wood, amongst the others. Bradford City are the favourites to win it, 4-9 on. So odds really stacked in their favour. Chesterfield 12-5 are second favourites, and then Solihull Moors at 9-2, and then Oldham Athletic are fourth favourites at 5-1. So that is how all that stacks up. We don't have any players in the Media Dream 11, unsurprisingly. But we do have a couple of players in here, as I remember. And Mika Peters is in the key players, and as is Cam Cooper. We would have expected Cam Cooper to be in there, wouldn't you? Right, I think that has done it. We did say one other thing that we were going to have a look at, and that if I can find the right trajectory here, we're going to have a look and see if we broke any records in that last season. Records, here we go. We did say we would this season. Modern day, here we go. So records that were broken: most points in a season, 107. The only thing I can't tell you is what was there before, but 107, it's a record that's been broken. Most league wins in a season, 33, another record that was broken. Fewest league defeats in a season, 5, that was broken. So that was very good. Most league goals in a season, 133 league goals in a season. That is some going. And that is a record. I'm not sure it's a record for the league or record for the club, but I think these are all league. I think these are league. I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's league stuff. Well, it might not be. It might be club. That's modern day this season. Yeah, I think actually it is. 8 games, 1 in a row. 2 games lost in a row. So, yeah. Other ones that have been broken, gate receipts, 155,000 against Cardiff in the Emirates FA Cup back in January. The average attendance, 1,176. Why does it say 981 then on the other thing? That's not right. And the highest scoring match is 7-4 against Truro City in the Vanarama National League South. Highest scoring league match as well, that was. So that's how that happened. Overall goals by a player in a season, Cam Cooper getting 36. That's a new record. Most league goals in a season is a new record. I think we've touched on this before. Highest average rating, 7.70 by Alfie Prescott. That's a new record. As is most of these down through here, which we've already touched on, which I'm not going to go over again because they came up in the review. Most matches without losing from the 2nd September to the 21st of December. 25 games we went without losing. That is a new club record. Most matches without winning. 11th of November. Oh, that was last. That was previously. It was before we took over, really. Most matches without scoring. Similar sort of period of time, really. And most matches without conceding. 3 between September 2024 and the 21st of September 2024. So 3 games with clean sheets is what we achieved there. Right, I think that's it. So we did break some records. It was all very, very good news. I think it's brought us to the end of the transfer special. We will do a very quick roundup at the start of the next episode, just in case anybody else comes in between now and the first game of the season. As I've said, the first game of the season is against Hartlepool. Never played them before, so it's new territory, as a lot of them will be this season. Same with Woking, I'm guessing. Yeah. So those two teams. The one thing to note from these two games is Alfie Prescott, because of yellow cards at the end of last season, has picked up a 2-match suspension. So we'll be missing for our first 2 games of the season against Hartlepool at Bob Lucas and then away at Woking. So that will be a little bit of a downer, shall we say. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you have, don't forget to leave me that big thumbs up, subscribe, hit the notification button. That keeps you up to date with all future episodes of Bottom to the Top. And of course, our other series, Irons in the Fire, as they are released. And new episodes of Bottom to the Top will be released every Tuesday and Friday at 4:15 p.m. And the best way of keeping up to date with what's happening on this channel is to follow me on X, formerly known as Twitter, at JustOffsideFM. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed today's episode, and you will join me for the next episode, our first 2 games in the Vanarama National League, as we try and get into the Football League. Can we do it next season, or will it take more than 1 season? Join me and find out. See you next time. Bye-bye.